One company in particular I worked really, really hard to be a part of. And I gave it everything I had. It's all I could think about for like a decade. And I finally got that job, and I worked at that company for a few years. And during that few years, I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about maybe what I need to be doing and where I want to be. And I ended up leaving that ballet company, which was really, really sad because it was something that I really wanted. But after I left that ballet company, it kind of sparked a newfound love for the dance world that I didn't know I needed. And after I left that ballet company, I started to experience and explore different avenues of dance: hip hop, jazz, contemporary, doing all of the other things that I'd been training in, but doing it now as a professional. And I think that alone sparked my passion for dance and my love for dance, and it reinvigorated um, that love. I think that I've been really, really lucky to have the ability to do all of these different dance or forms of dance. And I've been really, really lucky to work with people who are really, really technically proficient in these different areas. So I have lots of inspiration to pick from. But I think that over the years, I've been able to um, take advantage of different opportunities because I was able to offer different types of styles. Um, and while I'm still working and I'm always still learning and I'm still navigating at all times, I think that it's been really, really amazing to be in different environments like that. Being in a different environment, in each different environment, whether it's hip hop, whether it's ballet, whether it's jazz, whether it's contemporary, getting to be in those different groups or work with those different companies and watch your coworkers be proficient and excellent in whatever, whether it's contemporary or whether it's hip hop or whether it's jazz, or watching them be good at it, you want to learn and you want to be like them, right? So it's been really, really wonderful to be in all of these different companies that offer so many different styles of dance, because I can watch my coworkers and really choose and learn from them. When it comes to messages as a choreographer and dancer, it's different from what message I'm trying to portray as a teacher and a mentor, because those are both really, really big parts of my career and really big parts of my life and really big parts of who I am. When I'm dancing, when I'm on the stage and I'm in the wings, I work a lot on presenting a message to the audience, right? Because that's what we do. I want to tell a story, but I always want to tell the story in my own authentic way. I don't move like a lot of other people, and that's been both a blessing and a curse. But when I go on the stage, I think that whatever whatever the choreography is, or whatever the theme of the ballet is, or the choreo, whatever the vibe is for the show, it's up to the dancer to kind of portray a message, and sometimes the message is a very personal thing, and it also might read completely different to an audience member. So I don't know if there's ever really specifically a message that I'm like really locked into that I want the audience to know, unless they're like, be sad in the choreography, and my job is to make the audience feel, and then I can turn that on, right, like a light switch. That's like part of my job. But I think when it's me on the stage doing a solo and it's a contemporary solo, I'm just really immersed in the experience of the choreography, and um, immersed in the environment of being on stage. I know that I have a duty and a job now as a teacher. I teach a lot of kids, a lot of little kids, a lot of teenagers, a lot of people who are going through the motions and learning about the world and learning about themselves. And I have a duty and a job and a responsibility to provide them not only with a safe space in the studio to be themselves and to learn and to grow and be their most authentic, but to teach them lessons about how to be a good person outside of the studio as well. So they will pass that down to their students and their families, and make the world a better place instead of just, you know, locking themselves in the studio. So a couple of years ago, I was a part of a really, really amazing film with a dance company I was working for. And while the film ended up being this really, really big thing, and we had producers come out from LA and a videographer from New York, and it was like a bigger deal than I could have ever asked for. I love the camera. And I love, it was like it felt to me like a full scale Hollywood production. It was a really, really amazing experience. We got to rent out this massive theater, and it was like ours for like 2 or 3 weeks. And well, there was a cast and a crew, and it was like we had PAs, and it was like a whole big deal. And one of the things that was asked of me in this film was for me to sing. And I've always liked to sing, but I've never been a singer. I just like to sing. And sometimes I can hit a note or two, but Um, I was asked to sing, and I was asked to sing on this catwalk, which is above the theater, above the stage, where like the stage hands control the lights and stuff. So it's a bazillion feet in the air, and it's like this big. And I had to dance and sing on this like little runway with camera crew on either side of me, and I'm really afraid of heights. But I think what was a really amazing milestone for me, and something that really kind of catapulted me, I think, into the direction that I'm going right now, is I had to sing, and I'd never really done that in front of a camera before. But I think what that did after watching the final product of the film, the movie, and going to the premiere and seeing myself on a giant screen like that, doing something that originally kind of made me uncomfortable, I realized really quickly that I have a lot to offer, not just as a dancer, and not just as a choreographer, and not just as a teacher and a mentor. And I have a lot to offer voice wise. I have a lot to offer in lots of different talents that I'm so lucky to have. And I I think I'm in a place right now where I'm willing to share those talents. Um, and it's been really, really, I think that milestone for me was doing the big thing that I was scared of, but it really catapulted me into doing all sorts of big things that I'm scared of. I think that what Heidi is doing is really incredible. I think that what Heidi has to offer as a choreographer, as a director, as a person, is exciting. It's really exciting, and it's special, and it's different for a bazillion different reasons. But I think that it's colorful, it's new, it's loud, it's out there, it's exciting. Um, it has passion, it has drive, all things that I also have and I want to be a part of. And so Heidi is creating an environment that people want to be a part of. And not just people in her realm, but people abroad. Portland, LA, Boise, all of these different places. Heidi's reach is really, really, really big. So big that it reached all the way out to me in Idaho. So I'm proud. I'm proud to be a part of Heidi Duckler, and get to be in this colorful, bright, exciting world because it's full of new stuff. And I'm all about new. So I'm all about change, and Heidi is really changing the game when it comes to dance, when it comes to performance art, when it comes to choreography, when it comes to offering a space to dancers and performers to do their own thing. Heidi's willing to give them that platform, and that's a really, really, really huge, big deal. It's not a lot of people are willing to do that, especially people that are kind of up there, like Heidi. So, like, just, status wise, I think that Heidi has a lot to offer. Um, and she's just a good person. So I want to work for a good person, you know? Sometimes the world of ballet, while it's beautiful, um, can be very like you go to the theater to see the ballet. Like that's probably where you're gonna see a real ballet. Yes, ballet companies do stuff outside and things like that, but I think that what's so interesting about the Mercado and what they're offering in Portland, honestly, in general, is offering spaces for we bring dance to the people, and Portland is offering those spaces. And I think that's what's so important. And I think that having a space like the Mercado highlighted and bringing dance there, but also highlighting what they have going on is really important, especially in the world that we live in right now. But I think that it's really truly Heidi is bringing dance to the community, and the Mercado is a beautiful place to bring dance to. It just is really really wonderful. Even though we haven't started rehearsals and stuff yet, I think part of who I am right now and like part of this journey that I'm on is kind of take an opportunity, see where it goes. Even if you don't know exactly word for word what you're gonna do, it's having trust in the people that know what they're doing. I have trust in Heidi. I have trust in this project, and I think whatever we end up putting together is going to be spectacular because anything that Heidi Duckler does is fantastic. So I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm not sure what I'm offering yet, but I think that that's the fun of it all. I think all dancers and choreographers and movers of all kinds, everybody has their own process. And everybody, when they go to a theater, when they go to a site, or when they go to, wherever they're going to do a show or a performance or a work, um, we all have our own like getting into our body, getting into our brain. Some people need to take in the space, like the surroundings of the theater, or if we're dancing in nature and it's just improv, taking in the height of the trees and really presenting upwards. People need to think about taking in the roundness of an environment, or we all have different ways of connecting with a space. Some people need to do research about a space in order to feel like they can really get into the work and feel connected to the space. Um, I feel like I'm very. It depends on the work that I'm doing. Sometimes, if I'm dancing outside, I need to kind of get into my head and be like, "Okay, Tony, dance big, dance wide, but also stay grounded." If I'm dancing inside, I always want to project up and out, and that's just kind of my vibe. But it really depends on the space and the environment. Like I said, some people need to do a lot of research about the space and the environment that they're working in. I feel like I get to the space and I can really go with it. It just takes me a minute. I gotta see what I'm working with, and then I can go from there.